ladies and gentlemen. You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Well, the picture of the Yankees this year has been a good one. Derek Jeter right in the middle as the captain stands on Team Photo Day. Now, speaking of teams, the ultimate teammate is probably Derek Jeter. That's what everybody says as he continues his pursuit of the Iron Horse, Lou Gehrig. But at this point, Gehrig still stands a little bit taller than the present Yankee captain. As tonight, the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Tampa Bay Rays in the final game of a 4-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with John Flaherty. I'm Michael Kay. Well, Derek Jeter still searching for hits. He's 0 for 12 so far in this series. Gone up against some pretty good pitching, and he's still 4 away from taking over first place from Lou Gehrig. But you know what? He honestly doesn't care because the Yankees have won all 3 games of this series as he's going hitless. And yesterday, Nick Swisher was a big reason why, John.
Nick Swisher from both sides of the plate last night had a big night for the New York Yankees, facing the young, tough lefty David Price. Second inning, he hits his 25th home run, hitting right-handed, and then he comes up in the bottom of the 9th, hitting left-handed, facing Dan Wheeler out of the Rays bullpen. Again ahead in the count, another fastball, his 26th home run, a game winner. The captain loves it. The only question, will he get the pie after the game? Will it be a little blueberry, raspberry? It's just another cream pie for Nick Swisher.
And the Yankees are getting used to this big time. It's unbelievable the stats that they have piled up with the pies. His second career walk-off home run for Swisher, 7 walk-off home runs this year, a single-season team record, and the Yankees have 13 walk-off wins as a team, and that's the most in Major League Baseball. Let's look at tonight's New York Lottery pitching matchup. Jeff Neiman will try to avoid the sweep for the Rays. He's 12-5 with a 3.67, and Jabba Chamberlain goes for the Yankees. He's 8-5 with a 4.41 ERA. Jabba Chamberlain continues with the new rules. Now, will Jabba Chamberlain pitch in the playoffs as a starter? We'll get from Flaherty next on Yes. Well, so far so good as the Yankees are successfully transferring the magic from the old place to the new place so far this year. Now, can Jabba Chamberlain regain his magic? The new Jabba rules, his last 4 starts, you see what he's done, combined 0-3 with a 9 ERA over 15 innings pitched. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Yankees baseball. That's John Flaherty. I'm Michael Kay. Now, there's a big question. If the Yankees finish with the best record in the American League, they get to choose whether or not they have an extra off day in the best of 5. Now, if they don't take the extra off day, they're going to use 4 starters. If they do, they only have to use 3. So the question is, Would you want Jabba Chamberlain to start in that first round or relieve?
Well, if you're asking me tonight, Jabba Chamberlain cannot start. I mean, he's not stretched out. He's not ready to go 6 innings, which is what you would look for in a postseason start. His last outing, 3 innings. What are we expecting tonight? Maybe 4. You might build him up for 6 innings, and if he does a nice job at the end of the year, then you have the possibility of being a starter. But right now, the 9th of September, Jabba Chamberlain, to me, is a relief pitcher in the postseason.
Absolutely. You have to build him up to at least 6 to get him a start, and the way this Jabba rules works, they will get him to the 6th on that final start against the Red Sox. How he does, that will be the decision. Lineups, first pitch, baseball, coming up next right here on Yes. By Raymore and Flanagan, furnishing your style with guaranteed delivery in 3 days or less. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Avis, the official rental car company of the New York Yankees. Well, the Yankees have taken the field. Jabba Chamberlain is taking his warm-ups. This guy's ready for some foul balls, maybe a home run. But he comes prepared. Are the Yankees prepared for the Rays? Starting lineup, which is presented by Cabot Wood Stains. Jason Bartlett, the shortstop, who tied up the game with a home run against Phil Hughes, leads off. Batting second, playing left field, Carl Crawford. Evan Longoria, 12-game hitting streak. Third baseman bats third. Ben Zobrist at second will clean up. Then it's Pat Burrell, Chris Richard, Gabe Gross, Deanna Navarro, and B.J. Upton all the way down the ninth and playing center field.
The Rays lineup going to face right-hander Jabba Chamberlain. Finished his warm-up pitches. We'll take a look at his numbers. It'll be his 27th start, 8-5, 4.41 ERA, 67 walks, and 136 2/3. Take a look at our Jeep pitcher scouting report. It is double secret probation. The Jabba rules. How many innings? How many pitches? We're going to guess maybe 4 innings tonight for Jabba, and he needs to follow AJ's lead. We mentioned the other night AJ Burnett needed to have a better performance. He did that. It's about time with Jabba Chamberlain. You need to start seeing some positive signs. And where does he fit? It's going to be a constant debate as we get closer to postseason. Will he be better suited in the bullpen or in the starting rotation?
A lot of questions the Yankees have to answer. Jabba's ready. Jason Bartlett's ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch is up and inside. 1-0. We're underway.
Good slider for a strike from Jabba, and Joe Girardi told Kim Jones today it all starts with the fastball, kind of like A.J. Burnett the other night. You can locate down and away, get ahead in the count. If you're Jabba Chamberlain, try to keep that pitch count down, get deeper in ball games.
To the best of our guesstimate, today's probably a 4-inning start. Then he'll get another 4-inning start, then a 5, and then his final start should be 6 innings. And if it all plays out, that'll be against the Red Sox, the 2-1. High fly ball, left field. Johnny Damon back. He's on the track. He's at the wall. He leaps. See ya. A home run by Jason Bartlett. And the Rays are up 1-0.
What a year Jason Bartlett is having. Home run number 14. He was the MVP of the Rays last year. Pretty much on the way he played defense and solidified the infield. But this year, big-time power numbers. A fastball in the inner half. Able to keep it fair, at plenty of carry on that ball. 14 home runs as Johnny Damon drifting back. Took Phil Hughes deep last night for home run number 13.
Here's Crawford, and there's a strike. .61 ribbies, and then that's the first home run that Job has allowed since August 11th. Count 1-1. Off-speed pitch misses.
Take a look at a scouting report on Carl Crawford. He is the Rays leader. He's only 28 years old, but he leads the organization hits, at bats, RBIs, runs, a whole list of things. And a triple threat. He hit his 91st triple of his career last night. Only trails Johnny Damon and Jimmy Rollins. He's got one more year on his contract, $10 million owed to Carl Crawford next year. There was some talk possibly that the Rays would be looking to move him at some point. But the trade of the lefty Scott Kazmir to the Angels maybe settled some of those discussions down, but we'll see how the whole thing plays out.
And the 2-2. Line drive, base hit. So Crawford, a threat to steal, is on with a single. Let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. 72 degrees, humidity 58%, wind 11 miles per hour, and it seems like it's blowing in, and the forecast is for cool and cloudy. And here's Evan Longoria, carries a 12-game hitting streak into this game. Also 15 for his last 35, having a very good sophomore season. You talked about owing Crawford $10 million next year. The Rays were really aggressive with Longoria. They signed him before he was in the big leagues, and they signed him to a 6-year deal. So he's locked into very reasonable numbers for a star, and you wonder if at one point he'll become disgruntled. Count 0-2.
Well, everybody you talk to around the Rays organization say he's such an even keel type kid. 30 home runs, 100 RBIs before the age of 24, the ninth player in Major League Baseball history to do it with 40 doubles. So I think he signed the contract. He'll honor it. I mean, obviously he's making a lot of money. He probably would have been in line to make a lot more. But you take the security.
You can go two ways. You can take the security or gamble on your talent, but you never know if you're going to get hurt. So he took the security, and even though he might be underpaid for his skills, he's making more money than most of us can dream of. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. And also the Rays gamble, because they didn't know at that point that he was going to be this good. They had an idea. That's why they signed him. But he could have been a bust. So it worked out for them big time.
Well, I guess it's a good sign when Don Zimmer puts his endorsement on Evan Longoria. I mean, the first time I saw Zim in Tampa and asked him about this young third baseman, as Joe Madden looks on, I mean, he's talking about Brooks Robinson, and he's throwing all these ringing endorsements. Don Zimmer obviously seen a lot of baseball in his day.
That one gets away from Molina as Longoria strikes out. Moving to a second is Crawford.
Good slider from Jabba Chamberlain, down and away. Jose Molina tries to go with the backhand, and he's just not able to pick it. Ball that he probably should have went down and tried to block. Gets away from him. Carl Crawford gets to second base easily on the wild pitch.
Here's Ben Zobrist. And the pitch outside. 1-0. Just underway here at the stadium. A home run by Bartlett has put the Rays in front early. Well, he definitely shows a lot of his number and name to the pitcher. Jabba knows he's facing number 18, Zobrist.
If you're behind the plate, Jose Molina, and you see a hitter set up like that, you're going to try to make him prove he can hit the ball on the inner half. He's so closed. If you're Jose Molina, take a couple of shots inside. Got to believe it's going to be a long swing path, but obviously doing something right. 23 home runs, 72 RBIs on the year.
Why does a guy close up that much, John?
You know, it's to each his own. I mean, there are some guys who open up because they want to dive into the plate. Zobrist, obviously a guy who feels comfortable closing, using his hands. It probably gives him a little better sight line towards the pitcher, looking out at a right-hander. He's having a breakthrough year, so whatever he's done and the adjustments that he has made, it has worked out with Steve Henderson, the hitting instructor for the Rays.
The 2-1. Runner goes. And it's dropped by Molina as Crawford steals third.
Another slider. Carl Crawford got a great jump off the second base. You can see Jabba Chamberlain gives him the one look, and then he turns and goes. Little slider down and into Zobrist, and Molina trying to get that quick backhand and a good throw. Can't get the grip. .56 stolen bases on the year for Carl Crawford. Really came out of the gates fast this year, stealing a lot of bases, and they slowed down a little bit lately. Phil Hughes, especially last night, did a good job holding him at first base.
He's 4 behind Jacoby Ellsbury for the league lead. That one's popped up. And out of play also his career high is 59 stolen bases, so he's got a really good chance at that. Kind of a last-ditch effort for the Rays this week, and they head to Boston. So it's now or never. They're in pretty bad shape.
Yeah, you know, they won't admit it in that clubhouse. Obviously, you keep playing it out until mathematically you're eliminated from that wild card chase. But it doesn't look very good. Doesn't look like their rotation is solid. Bullpen's beat up.
And Zobrist works the walk. 21 pitches for Chamberlain. 12 strikes. Let's talk Jabba for a moment, John. If you look at the difference in Jabba from the beginning of the second half when he was 3-0 with a 0.83, since then he's 1-3 with a 7.96. Is it all because of these innings limits and the extra rest? Because he just doesn't seem like the same pitcher that he was.
He's not the same pitcher. I mean, we're watching here with 1 out in the first inning. And let's just talk about stuff, Michael. I mean, what have we seen so far? 91, 92. He's hit 93 with a fastball, but they're all straight. Good fastball, 94 just misses. But if you ask any major league hitter, okay, you know, you're going to face a righty tonight. He's going to throw 92, 93, and it's going to be straight as a string. He won't even bat an eye. That's not an issue. And, you know, I'm not concerned, but what happened to that 96, 97, 98? Those days seem to be gone.
And that one's redirected into left field by Burrow for a base hit. Crawford will score. Zobrist stops at second, and just like that, the Yankees are down 2-0, and Jabba's struggling here in the first.
Pat Burrell gets a hit on a slider. We talked about the fastball. Here's the slider. When Jabba throws it for a strike, it doesn't have a whole lot of break. It's maybe 4 to 6 inches across the plate. Pat Burrell all over it. The good sliders that Jabba throws are the ones that end up off the plate. And you got to believe word is getting around the American League that when he throws a good slider, it's going to be a ball. The ones he throws for a strike are the more that get-me-over slider. That's what Pat Burrell got, and he hammered it to left field.
Jeter had a couple of things to say there to Jabba. Now listening in on what Molina's saying. And you usually don't see Derek that vocal. He stayed there on the mound for a while. Don't know if he's trying to snap Jabba to attention.
You know what, Michael, we said in the scouting report, you need to start seeing some positive signs from Jabba Chamberlain. It's not just the two of us in the booth or the fans that are here at the game. I mean, the teammates, it's the same thing. You know, we need to see some positive signs from you moving into September, hopefully into postseason play.
Count 1-0 to Chris Richard.
Jose Molina's going to go out and have a conversation, and you wonder at some point if there's been some conversation about more two-seam fastballs. I mean, you could throw 91, 92, Dave Island looking on, pitching coach. You could throw 91, 92 at this level with a little bit of movement, and then you throw your four-seamer 93, 94 with some life through the zone. You can get away with that. But a lot of Java's fastballs are straight, and if he doesn't locate on the corners, you see some pretty healthy swings against him.
Now 1-1. Take a look at the umpires. Fielding Colbert behind the plate. The crew chief Tim Welke's at first, Jim Wolf at second, and Gary Cederstrom is over at third. Count 1-2 is throwing 2 fastballs by Richard. And he blew it right by him. He got aggressive with Richard, and he overpowered him 3 times in a row.
And he went up the ladder a little bit with each fastball. You check out this last one. Molina's setting up away. It ends up and in. Actually a pretty good spot to go after the left-hander with your fastball. Throws it right by him. Started the first one middle and then kept elevating.
Now he faces Gabe Gross. Gross 1 hit in his last 13 at bats. First and second, 2 outs. That's right. And the 0-1. Good tight slider there, the count 0-2.
Whatever Derek Jeter said when he came in, had a little conversation with Java, looks like it's worked. A lot more aggressive with the fastball, throwing more strikes, ahead in the count 0-2.
And the pitch. Missed the outside corner. Double. His next pitch will be his 30th.
Well, this is the best fastball Java has thrown tonight. 95 just misses on the outside corner. Home plate umpire Fielding Colbert did not give him the call. You can see it missed. Pretty good 0-2 pitch.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Rays have 2 in. Top of the first inning here at the stadium. Strike 3. Gross down looking. So Java strikes out the side, but he does allow 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left. You knew it was going to be a rough inning when the first batter went yard. Jason Bartlett. It's 2 for the Rays, and the Yankees and Derek Jeter coming to bat. Bottom of the first inning, Yankees are trailing by 2. So Jeff Neiman taking his warm-ups. And let's take a look now at the Yankees starting lineup presented by Cabot Wood Stains. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, leads off. Batting second and playing left field, Johnny Damon. Mark Teixeira's at first. He'll hit third. Cleaning up and playing third is Alex Rodriguez. Hideki Matsui will DH and bat fifth. The hero of yesterday's game, the right fielder Nick Swisher. He's going to bat sixth. Then it's Robinson Cano, Brett Gardner in center, and Jose Molina catching and batting ninth. Derek Jeter gets a warm hand. He is 3 hits away from tying Lou Gehrig's mark. 4 hits away from standing atop the Yankees' Mount Olympus alone, having the most hits ever in the history of this franchise. Derek 0 for 12 so far in this series. Last time up last night, he hit a Jeterian line drive to right that stayed up there for Kapler to grab. Now he faces the hard-throwing youngster Jeff Neiman. And a bunt. It is a beauty. It is a base hit. He is 3 away and 2 away from a tie. That's a good way to break a slump.
0 for 12 lately, struck out a few times yesterday against David Price, a young lefty. And he really squared around early, but it's perfect placement. Once he got it by Neiman, the pitcher, Longoria had no play. Perfect execution. He kind of squared around early like it was almost a sacrifice situation, but he just put it in the perfect spot for a base hit.
Here's Johnny Damon as Jeter leads off first. And the pitch outside, 1-0. So let's update the chase. Gehrig remains at 27-21. He's been there for 72 years. And Derek Jeter is now 2 away from tying the Iron Horse. The 1-0. Grounded foul.
Derek, a threat to run over there. 24 stolen bases on the year. Has only been thrown out 5 times. He's peeking in. And Greg Zaun behind the plate, seeing if he could pick up what pitch is going to be thrown. Excuse me, Navarro catching tonight. Greg Zaun, the veteran, has a night off.
Yankees getting a little annoyed at Damon. He's taking aim at that side of the dugout. So they point toward the field and say, that's where you're supposed to hit it, not here.
And we've seen this all year, too. It's Nick Swisher pointing to Johnny Damon which way he's supposed to hit it. Johnny's done a great job hitting in the number 2 hole with Derek Jeter on first base, pulling a lot of balls in between first and second.
Slap the other way.
Jeff Neiman, the young right-hander for the Rays, 6'9". Actually expect him to throw a little harder with that size, but he's pretty much around 90 miles an hour, not overpowering, but creates an outstanding angle down the hill. That leverage being 6'9".
Neiman paying a lot of attention to Jeter.
Well, Derek's getting a little antsy over there, too. I think he's got Neiman figured out. Looks like he's trying to get a pretty decent jump. Feeling pretty good about his legs. Navarro has a reputation as a solid thrower. Classify him pretty much as average.
One away from a 300 mark for stolen bases. There he goes. And there it is. 300 stolen bases as Damon goes down swinging. Another milestone for Derek Jeter.
saw with one of those shots. He was peeking into Navarro, seeing if he could pick up a sign. He got a change up, a good pitch to run on. Had a nice jump. He'd have plenty of looks at Jeff Neiman's delivery down the hill. Great jump. Good pitch to run on. His 25th stolen base of the year and 300 for his career.
5%.
There are actually only 2 other players active in Major League Baseball with at least 200 stolen bases, or 300 stolen bases, and 200 home runs. One of them is Johnny Damon, and the other one is Bobby Abreu. So Derek joins that company.
One of those years for Derek Jeter where everything just seems to be falling in place. Obviously, the batting average up around 330. Now 25 stolen bases. Done an outstanding job defensively at shortstop. I think Mark Teixeira has helped out a lot in that regard. You don't see too many throwing errors from Derek anymore.
Alex Rodriguez on deck. Count 3-1 now on Teixeira. Teixeira 35 homers, 106 runs batted in.
Had 4 at-bats right-handed last night. Hit a couple of home runs left-handed. Second game of that day-night doubleheader. So mentioned after that game that Kevin Long, the hitting instructor, and Mark Teixeira actually figured something out from the left side. Remember watching the first game, he was a little bit late getting set up as we look at the numbers for Jeff Neiman. Having an outstanding rookie year, 12-5, 3.67 ERA.
Strike 3. Got the breaking ball in there beautifully to strike out Teixeira.
Great numbers and a great curveball. We'll take a look at our Jeep pitcher scouting report on Jeff Neiman. He's been under the radar. Came into the year as a 5th starter. The lefty David Price got a lot of the attention. Jeff Neiman just snuck up there. He's having a great year. Rookie leader with 12 wins, tied with Rick Porcello and Ricky Romero in the American League. And he's pretty much on his own. The bullpen for the Rays is really fatigued. And they've already blown 4 games for him this year where he has had the lead. We've seen his fastball, and first time we've seen that curveball. Big 12-6 break.
There's Alex Rodriguez. The pitch outside. Alex, 11 hits in his last 22 at bats, hitting .281. Last 9 games, hitting .417. Yankees down 2-0. And the count 2-0.
Michael, this is one of those things that's hard to explain to you. You watch Neiman, who's 6 feet 9 inches tall, and he throws 90 miles an hour. But when you watch the ball, it seems like a heavy ball, and it's hard to explain what that means. But it's one of those things that's hard to center. Just misses. If you're a hitter, it's hard to put on the barrel of the bat. And if you're a catcher, you feel it all the way up into your left shoulder. You know, just a heavy baseball. Some guys have that ability. I don't know how to explain it. Just a tough pitch to hit hard.
You think it's because of more rotation on the ball that makes it seem heavier?
You know, I don't even know where I would start. It's just the way the ball comes out of his hand, as opposed maybe to some other pitchers where they have a little more wrist snap, so you get better life through the zone. It just seems like Neiman, it's like a stiff arm. The ball comes out of his hand. It's a heavy baseball. Obviously works for him. And right there, that's a 3-1 count, 92 miles an hour, nothing special. Alex Rodriguez can't put the good part of the bat on. When you catch a guy like this, you'll feel it the next day in your left arm, your left shoulder, and you're like, hey, he doesn't throw that hard, but it wears you down back behind the plate.
What pitcher made your shoulder hurt the most? 3-2. Thank you, Alex, for fouling out that.
You know, John Dobson, I don't know if you remember that name.
Yeah.
He used to be a right-hander with the Boston Red Sox my rookie year. He threw a real heavy ball. And the same thing, velocity was average, but you would feel it the next day in the back of your left shoulder. And believe it or not, today I've been retired 4 years now. My left shoulder hurts me more than my right shoulder, and the right shoulder was a throwing arm. Feel sorry for him?
Yes. 3-2. Driven out to center field. Upton back. And he has room, and he makes the play for the final out of the first. So Derek Jeter gets a hit. He's off to Schneid. And he did it in an improvised way. Decided to bunt, and it was a time for this moment in Yankees history, sponsored by Mercedes, your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers on the web at searchmercedes.com. September 9th of last year, Derek Jeter passed Babe Ruth for second all-time on the Yankees franchise hit list. And now a year later, he's 3 away from overtaking Lou Gehrig. Navarro grounds to Teixeira, and he flips the Jabba. 1 pitch, 1 out. Stay tuned after the 8th inning for a peek at 9, the new animated adventure from producers Tim Burton and Timur Bekmambetov in theaters everywhere now. That is some name, Timur Bekmambetov.
Pulled that off gracefully.
Thanks. Today's 9/9/09. Did you know that?
It's kind of scary, isn't it?
We'll never see it again. Won't have this again for 1,000 years. I don't think we'll be here.
I don't think we'll be here.
Modern medicine could kick in. You never know. Upton fouls it away. Count 0-2. There's a 9.
9/9/09. The first day of school for a lot of kids. Big day.
Got the Flaherty kids off today.
Flaherty kids had a nice first day at school. 9 home runs for B.J. Upton.
9 innings. Tying it all together. You know, your favorite Broadway musical was 9, I heard. Somebody told me.
Somebody told you that.
Yeah. Chop foul.
B.J. Upton hitting 9th in the order tonight. Usually a leadoff hitter. He's had his troubles this year. Really expected him to come on and have a big year after that postseason display. 7 home runs in the postseason last year. Shoulder surgery in the offseason, just never got on track.
And they're 2-away. This Saturday, Yankee Stadium helped Kim and her husband, manager Joe Girardi, fight stomach cancer. From 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., Kim will be accepting donations in exchange for blue hair extensions, courtesy of SoCap USA and Kid Styles of Bedford Hills, plus the opportunity to receive collectibles signed by past and current Yankee greats, including Derek Jeter, A-Rod, Mariano Rivera, Mark Teixeira, Hideki Matsui, Tino Martinez, and Yogi Berra. Please stop by the tables in the H&R Suite Lounge and on the terrace level across from Section 329. Proceeds will go to the Catch 25 Foundation, the Lurie Comprehensive Cancer Center of Northwestern University, and the Yankees Universe Fund at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. Please join the fund and help the efforts for research and treatment for stomach cancer. And there's a strike. Joe is sporting a hair extension. He was talking to me over the weekend in Toronto. He was unsure if the clip on the hair extension would connect to his hair. So I think he got a little bit of the hat to help him out. And blue is the color in the battle for stomach cancer, and that's why there's blue hair extensions. The 1-2.
A lot more strikes here in the second inning from Jabba Chamberlain. Ahead in the count makes life a lot easier if you're a starting pitcher at this level. He's starting to turn it loose a little bit now. This is kind of the mechanics and the body language we saw when he came out of the bullpen. Real aggressive charging down the hill. We're getting to the point where he's just starting to let it go a little bit as Dave Island looks on.
I really wonder if Jeter's little speech had anything to do with it, because it wasn't your typical Derek Jeter visit to the mound. It looked like he was barking at him a bit.
Yeah, it might have. And I'll tell you what, even watching Jabba with his mechanics now, everything is sped up a little bit. He's a lot quicker, a lot more aggressive down the hill. You wonder if it was Derek Jeter kind of waking him up a little bit, saying, let's go.
Grounded softly to third. A-Rod charges, fires off balance. Got him. Just got him. So a 1-2-3 inning for Jabba Chamberlain as he got 3 ground balls from the Rays. And a nice play by the Yankee third baseman, Alex Rodriguez. Made the exchange, fired across the body, and just got Time to take a look at Friday's starting pitchers, brought to you by Verizon Fios. This is Fios. This is big. Chris Tillman, one of the big prospects for the Orioles, will go. He's 1-3, 4.66. And Andy Pettit is having a great second half, 13-6, 4.10. We'll have a BP show at 6. That's when our coverage begins. 6:30 is the pregame show. First pitch will be right around 7:07 right here on Yes. Hideki Matsui will lead off against Jeff Neiman. Two 2-0 Tampa Bay leads. Grounded to first. Richard steps on the bag, one down. You know that is, right? That's Turtle and Meadow, or otherwise known as Jerry Ferrara from Entourage, and Jamie Lynn Siegler from The Sopranos, and also from Entourage. There are a couple on the show and a couple in real life.
She's a big Nick Swisher fan after what he did last night, game-winning home run.
And there's a member of The Sopranos, Steve Sharippa, Bobby Bacala. Woke up this morning. Don't you miss that show?
I missed that show.
Yeah. And the pitch to Swisher. There's a strike. Now, is she really a Nick Swisher fan? Or you knew that Nick was coming up and you just thought it'd be a good transition?
I
thought you had interviewed her before.
Oh. You run in those circles. Hey, I don't know those actresses and actors and stars and jet players texting you during the game. Big time.
It's hard to argue with it. The 1-1. Count 2-1. High pop-up. Bartlett will make the play for the second out.
Mentioned Jeff Neiman and his height, 6 feet 9 inches tall. He's got very simple mechanics. Not a whole lot of movement, kind of keeps everything close to his body. Nice turn on the mound, and you can see he looks like he's a strike throwing machine. See why he's having a good year. A lot of strikes, some good movement. I mentioned the heavy fastball. We've seen the curveball to Mark Teixeira. A nice little slider. I like the mechanics though. Nice and simple.
Hitting .330 since the All-Star break. You know, in the last 81 games for the Yankees, John, which is essentially half a season, they're 80. They're 60-21. 60-21. It's like they never lose. 39 games over 500 in half a season.
What did Joe Girardi say before the game today? That it reminds him of the '98 team after the start of that year, 4 straight losses, then went on a roll. 40 games over 500 for the season at this point.
Now we know the last time they were 40 games over was 2004, the end of the season. We'll have to figure out the last time they were 41 over.
Be interesting to look at those numbers and when Phil Hughes went out to that bullpen and took over. And that's really when the Yankee season has changed.
I have those numbers.
See, you're unbelievable. You ask for it, you produce.
He moved into the bullpen on June 8th. Since that time, they are 57-27.
30 games over. He's been the difference. I mean, he's changed the complexion of the bullpen. Everybody else is slotted a little bit lower. They've been more productive.
And last night, a rare misstep for Hughes, giving up the home run to Bartlett. Yankees bounce back. count 3-2.
But you know what you liked about last night too, though, Michael? You mentioned Bartlett taking Phil Hughes deep, but first pitch fastball was how Phil rebounded after that. Had a nice clean inning. He was worried a little bit about the running game with Carl Crawford, but did a nice job with Longoria. I was very impressed. The first time in a long time we can remember him having any trouble.
Driven deep to center field. Upton back, still back, on the track, and he does not make the play. Trying to Mr. Cool it, he does not make the play as Cano ends up at third. We'll see how they score that. Didn't you get that sense, John, that he's trying to Mr. Cool it?
Well, DJ Upton will drive you crazy. I mean, he's a very talented athlete. He makes everything look easy, but you got to question the effort on this ball, and it's going to be scored in error. First of all, Robinson Cano smokes it straight away center field. Nice, easy, nonchalant. He just boots the ball, and then he doesn't really hustle it up real aggressively coming back after it. If you're Joe Madden, the manager of the Rays, this has got to drive you crazy right here. Had some room, could have gotten back to the wall, turned around and made an easy play.
So Madden is warning his infielders that Brett Gardner will bunt. So an E8, a 3-base error for Upton. And a strike.
You know, and I asked around a little bit. I still have some people around the Rays organization that I knew from my time there about B.J. Upton, because the man in the clubhouse is different than the man out on the field. And by that I mean they say he's a great guy, you know, respectful and all that. But you watch him play sometimes, and he kind of goes through the motions. Doesn't look like he's giving it 100% effort. The guy they miss in that clubhouse from last year was Cliff Floyd, who they said was great with the young players and kind of stayed on them. You got to believe he could have made this play a lot easier than he did, kind of Cadillacing back to the wall. Boots it right off the heel of his glove.
Yeah, it seemed like he wanted to make it very cool on the side, almost a basket catch. He could have gotten there and just made a normal play. The 0-2. Slice toward third, off the chest of Longoria, stays with it, and then he gets the hustling Gardner for the final out. So the error by Upton does not come back to haunt Neiman or the Rays. No runs, no hits, one error, and one man left on base. Now, we just saw a poor defensive play by B.J. Upton, and the thing that rankles you is that you know he could do such great things. This was against Xavier Nady on April 13th. Look at that catch, John.
And a nice head of steam going straight into that wall over the shoulder catch. A play he had tonight a lot easier. Like you said, Michael kind of Cadillaced it a little bit and got burned.
Crawford grounds one to Cano.
This was the play on Robinson Cano, a lot easier. Surprised that it didn't end up in his glove. You get frustrated on the effort coming back as well. I mean, Robinson Cano should have been at third base anyway.
On the Modell's scoreboard, it's 2-0 Tampa Bay. Modell's the official sporting goods retailer of the New York Yankees. Count 1-1.
Job is in a nice rhythm now. The pitch count at 49. Seems like his mechanics have sped up a little bit. Looks like he wants to throw a changeup as Alfredo Aceves getting loose already in the Yankee bullpen.
Nice play there by Cano. Guns down Longoria for the second out.
Evan Longoria, a strong man. When he hits it on the barrel, it's going to jump off of his bat. It's a rocket, a one hopper. Robinson Cano to his right. His backhanded play, plenty of time with the throw. Makes it look a lot easier than it is. Nice, easy, compact swing. The ball jumps off his bat. 30 home runs on the year. A lot of things have gone right this year, Michael, for the Yankees. I think Robinson Cano and his play at second base a lot more consistent than it was last year. You don't see him kind of making that routine error anymore. Obviously has the ability to make the great play night in and night out.
Count 2-1. And now 2-2.
Java mixing in the changeup. He's sensing it's going to be the end of his night shortly with that pitch count in the mid-50s. Thrown pretty much fastball slider all night. Just mixed in a changeup, get some work.
High drive right field. Swisher will make the play, and Java has retired 8 in a row. A 9-pitch inning, 55 total pitches for Chamberlain, and we go to the fourth. It's 2-0 Tampa Bay. Derek Jeter's up second in the bottom of the third. Kim Jones caught up with Derek's dad and mom and asked them, is Derek Jeter going to enjoy this moment, or is he just going to let it fly by? Here's his dad.
Well, you know, I've talked with Derek, not specifically about Lou Gehrig, but about, living in the moment sometimes, trying to enjoy, some of the things, because, part of the thing is the journey, really. You want to enjoy some of the things along the way. Everything is not reflected. You can take the time to say, hey, pat yourself on the back a little bit and keep going. And that's what I talk with him about, really.
That's great advice, and that's about anything. But Derek Jeter's not that sort of guy. I think that he probably will think back on things, but maybe because this moment has been so magnified, John, that he will take this in.
Well, it is great advice. You just said it. And, the thing about being a major league player and you get into that grind of the season where you just have bat after a bat, game after game, you don't take a step back and appreciate where you are and some of the things going on around you. And maybe he'll take a little bit of that advice from his dad. Enjoy the moment a little bit more.
Modell's scoreboard 2-0. Tampa Bay over the Yankees. Bottom of the third. Modell's the official sporting goods retailer of the New York Yankees. And Molina swings and misses. One away. That's going to bring up Derek.
Now batting for the Yankees, number 2, Derek Jeter. Number 2.
Moving up on the Iron Horse, the bunt single in the first inning moves him to within 2 of tying Lou Gehrig. Yankees all-time hit leader list. Those are some pretty power names that he's hooked with: Gehrig, Ruth, and Mantle. This time Longoria in a little bit more at third, backing up a couple of steps. And the pitch. Count 1-0. So his bunt single and then a stolen base breaks an 0 for 12 slide in this series. Down 1-1.
You think back to that 0 for 12, though, Michael. I mean, he struck out 3 times last night, and then he hit a ball hard to right field. Didn't work out for him. The night before, in the second game of the doubleheader, hit 2 balls hard in that game. Still went 0 for 4. But not as bad as the numbers look.
In case you missed it, here's how he reached in the first inning. And there was no play. And the count 3-1. Yankees all-time list, he's at 317 with his average. That's 5th. 10th in home runs, 2nd in hits, 4th in runs, and 2nd in stolen bases behind Ricky Henderson. 3-1 pitch. Ground ball is short. And the fans cheering more with their hearts than they are with their heads, because that was a simple ground ball is short.
Well, Jeff Neiman has a little bit more movement than you expect. I mean, it's pretty much a fastball down the middle. Got a little bit of sink. Nothing new there with Derek Jeter always hustling down the line. Disappointed you got a fastball 3-1. It just has enough movement where you pound it into the ground.
Damon struck out in the first inning. And on strike 3, that's when Jeter stole second. I've got a look-alike for you, John. Jeff Neiman. Jeff Daniels. Of Dumb and Dumber.
I'm not going there with you.
Oh, you got to take a look. I'm telling you, it's dead on.
About dead on. I could see a resemblance. All right. Following your lead. Randy Johnson?
No. I'm not going there with you.
Well, great. I didn't go there with you. You don't come there with
so
me.
never
That's
the
fine.
twain will meet. That's fine. It's time for the Toyota text poll. Tonight's question, who's right, John or Michael? No. Which of these Yankees records will be the most difficult to break? And your choices are home runs, Babe Ruth, 659. RBIs, Lou Gehrig, 1996. Runs, Babe Ruth, 1959. You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. Obviously, the home runs, that's just with the Yankees. He ended up with 714. And that one's fouled off. Shift is on. 3 infielders on the right side. Now, I know it's very difficult for you, John, because we know each other very well, to ever admit defeat, but you just were shown a picture of Jeff Daniels on the computer. Am I right or wrong?
Wrong.
Oh. An outrage.
The hair's totally different.
The 0-1.
See, this is a Fordham thing. You and Ryan Rucco trying to gang up on me.
It's just, you know, trust your eyeballs, that's all. If I'm right, doesn't make me any better, John. It just means I'm right this time.
I'm trying to break down his stuff. You know, sinker, changeup, curveball. You're talking about actors.
How's that going for you? Here's the 1-1. And the count 2-1.
Big 12-6 curveball, and Neiman struck out Mark Teixeira's first at bat. Alex Rodriguez waiting on deck. Been one pitch through the course of the year. If there have been pitchers who have that big 12-6 over-the-top curveball, gives Mark a little bit of trouble.
Runner goes. Rip and grabbed there by the second baseman Zobrist. And boy, did the shift work. He just took a base hit away from Mark Teixeira. Zobrist, the second baseman, was almost playing behind the first baseman, Richard. That's a single to right field. Instead, time for the New York Steak Smokers Quick Line Quiz. Who has the most games with hitting home runs from both sides of the plate in their career? Is it Mark Teixeira? Well, we'll find out in the bottom of the inning. Call to the bullpen brought to you by AT&T. Your world delivered. Well, Jabba only goes 3 again, so 3 straight starts with 3 innings, and I could have sworn this was going to be a 4-inning start. But I think the thing that got him, John, was that first inning.
55 pitches total for Jabba Chamberlain. As you see the numbers, Alfredo Aceves 10-1. Great job out of the bullpen. Hard to imagine this guy didn't even make the team coming out of spring training. Talk about Phil Hughes in the bullpen pitching in the 8th inning. Alfredo Aceves has been a rock in the middle.
Burrow picked up an RBI single in the first inning.
Well, Jabba threw 3 innings, so I guess we can break it down. The first inning didn't have a lot going on. Velocity not great. Got hit around a little bit. Leadoff home run.
Driven deep to left. Foul.
I don't know if maybe Derek said something to him, but the second and third inning, everything kind of fell into place. He got into a nice rhythm. Velocity got a little bit better, and the results were definitely there. But still hard to imagine only 3 innings again. With how many 4 starts to go?
3.
3.
As Burrow goes down on strikes. Aceves has a good fastball. That was 93 miles an hour.
Yeah, and he set it up with a good changeup that Pat Burrell pulled foul the pitch before. So you go change up in the low 80s, and then you follow it with a good fastball up in the zone, 93 miles an hour, right by Pat Burrell. You don't have to have an overpowering fastball, but if you set it up with some good off-speed pitches, it looks a little bit harder. Able to sneak it by some hitters.
There's a strike. Foul back. Lofted to shallow center. Brett Gardner will make the play. Two down, that'll bring up Gabe Gross. Yankees have won 3 straight, and the Rays have lost 7 straight at the most inopportune time.
Also lost their first baseman, Carlos Pena, a couple of broken fingers. 39 home runs on the year. He's done. A magical year last year, Joe Madden and the Rays. Things not falling into place.
Seves is dealing, and the count 2-2.
Again, it's a nice combination of the changeup followed up by a fastball. One thing you can see when you watch Alfredo Aceves, he knows how to pitch. I mean, he's thinking about pitch selection. He's thinking about setting up pitches. Good idea what he wants to do to every hitter.
Popped up. Long run for Alex Rodriguez in foul territory. He makes the play for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. So the Rays go down in order, and we go to the bottom of the fourth. Yankees trail 2-0. It's time for the answer to the New York State Smokers Quick Line Quiz. Who has the most games with hitting home runs from both sides of the plate in their career? So you know it's plural. The answer is Eddie Murray and Chili Davis did it 11 times. Now there's actually an addendum to that question as Alex Rodriguez swings, fouls it away. John and I read this before the game. We were startled. And no knock on Nick Swisher. Well, Nick Swisher homered from both sides of the plate last night for the 10th time in his career. So he's one shy of the major league record. I mean, do you think of Nick Swisher in those terms?
The Hall of Famer Eddie Murray did it 11 times.
Now you might wonder, well, how many times did Mickey Mantle do it? Well, he did it 10 times. But there's a reason behind that as well, because Mantle played in an era where pitchers pitched complete games all the time. So there wasn't mixing and matching. If he started the game batting left-handed, he was going to bat left-handed through 9 innings. If he started right-handed, the same deal. Because Alex broke his bat on a swing and a miss.
Probably broke it before and a foul ball, didn't notice it. New piece of lumber, get back to work.
So Nick Swisher, one more night of homers from the righty side and the lefty side, and he's tied a major league record. 1-2. to a fastball by Rodriguez. One away here in the fourth.
The more you watch Neiman, the more you can realize why he's having a nice year. 12 wins so far and counting. Good fastball up in the zone. Again, followed up a couple of curveballs early. Check out the leg kick. It's been a little shorter lately, but that fastball right by him.
Here's Matsui.
It's amazing how you plan things out in spring training. And just looking out at Neiman, I remember in spring training, he didn't even know if he was going to make this team. He made it as a 5th starter. The first month of the year is pretty much a question: would he stay in the rotation? Would he go to the bullpen?
And a single for Matsui.
Now he finds himself with 12 wins at the major league level, tied with a couple other rookies in the American League. Hideki Matsui gets a fastball, and you can see it's got a little bit of movement away. It was up. Hideki just rolls over, hits it in the perfect spot, picks up the base hit.
So Matsui now 8 for his last 19, and here is Nick Swisher. Home runs last night from the right side, deep to left, and from the left side, winning the game in the 9th inning, a walk-off. Yankees 13th of the year. Line drive to right field. It is a base hit in front of Gross, and he tries to get the force, and Matsui just got in there. Matsui had to play it halfway because he didn't know if Gross was going to catch it. Gross has a pretty good arm and made it close at second.
And Hideki Matsui did exactly what he was supposed to. This is off the end. Hideki freezes, sees the ball hit the grass, then hustles it up into second base. Gross actually did a nice job on the run coming up with a throw. You freeze at the middle, make sure the ball hits some grass, and you scoot into second base. Gross actually a nice play on the run, a good, quick, strong throw. Played quarterback in college, so good athlete.
Rounded up the middle and grabbed there by Zobrist, and they get the out at second. Dropped by Bartlett, but he picked it up in time to get the force on Swisher.
Well, great play by Bartlett. I mean, he makes the routine plays at short. He makes some great plays over there. Robinson hits a ground ball. Zobrist going to his right, and then it's a bad flip. It's low. Watch Bartlett with the glove hand. Just picks it, makes sure he gets the out. A lot of shortstops would be expecting a good flip, not being able to come up with it. A nice athletic play by the Rays shortstop.
Gardner takes a pitch low and away. Gardner had a runner at third with 2 outs in the second and grounded sharply to third. Now he's got runners on first and third, 2 outs here in the fourth. Gardner, last game played before coming up the DL at the start of this week was July 25th. Broke his wrist. Long stay on the DL. A couple of games in AAA. Till rehab, he was 1 for 11 during those games, and here he is back in the majors. Now, in his short career, Gardner a .302 hitter with 2 outs and runners in scoring position.
Brett trying to find that stroke again. You mentioned the rehab assignment, 1 for 11. He went 0 for 3 his first game back in the big leagues, and 0 for 1 tonight. Trying to find that stroke that he had before he got hurt.
Here's how he got hurt against the A's. It did not look like anything happened when it happened. But X-ray showed that he did break his left hand. Wrist injury. The 2-2. Popped up. Shallow center. Upton comes on and makes the basket catch for the final out of the fourth. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Cooler than cool. This time he caught it as we go. Well, thank you, Bob. Here in the top half of the 5th inning, it's 2-0 Rays. He's locked into the game, this little guy. And the first pitch to Navarro is a strike. It's amazing, John. The Texas Rangers will not go away. Lexus scoreboard 2-0 Tampa Bay. In a period of 19 hours, they won 3 games. Foul back. Now, the one thing that the Red Sox have in their favor, 14 of their final 17 games are played against teams that are totally out of it, having bad seasons. So the schedule is definitely in the Red Sox favor.
Love what Nolan Ryan has done in Texas, letting those young kids go, forgetting about the pitch count.
Ground ball up the middle. Cano, that little side flip. 1 away.
Navarro gets jammed. The heads up play by Robinson Cano. He knows he has plenty of time. Navarro, a catcher who does not run well, sets his feet a little bit and makes sure he makes an accurate throw. Little cutter up and in.
Here is B.J. Upton. That one is driven to center field and deep. Gardner's there, runs it down for the second inning. As the Yankees continue to lead the league, you can catch every Yes Network game live on your PC or laptop. If you're a Verizon Fios TV customer with Fios Internet who watches Yes, log on to YesNetwork.com, Yankees.com, or Verizon.net/Yes to get more information and sign up for your subscription now. Pitch to Bartlett, outside 1-0. ball straight. And the count now 3-1. And he walks him. So a 2-out walk, and that's the first Ray to reach base since Pat Burrell's RBI single in the first inning. Snapping a streak of 13 straight Rays retired.
See if Bartlett's going to be aggressive on the bases with 2 outs. He's stolen 24 bases on the year. Only been thrown out 6 times. Jose Molina behind the plate obviously can shut down the running game better than most.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. Carl Crawford 1 for 2. And a strike from Aceves.
The Rays always aggressive on the bases, leading the American League in stolen bases. Not a bad spot if you're Bartlett to try to get into scoring position. If you get thrown out, Carl Crawford will lead off the next inning. A man who has led off in his career before.
Now, why is Molina shaking his head?
He wants Aceves to shake his head so Crawford will think he's shaking off some signs. A lot of times pitcher and catcher will be on the same page with what pitch they want to throw. Catcher will actually tell the pitcher to shake his head, so the hitter starts thinking, okay, I thought he was going to throw a fastball, but now he's shaking off maybe to a curve or a slider. Play a little mind games.
Now, is it easier to play mind games with smart players or players that aren't that smart? Because sometimes smart players overthink, right?
They say the best hitters are the hitters who don't think at all up at the plate. You know, they're not watching Aceves shake his head like he's shaking off signs. They're just looking for the baseball and hitting it. It's kind of like the way Derek Jeter hits. He doesn't pay attention to anything else going on. But, you know, behind the plate, we like to just play some games, you know, do things a little bit differently. Just like we have a little throw over to first base. There is no better feeling than being on the same page mentally with your pitcher, where you know what pitch you want to throw even before you put the sign down. That's a pitcher you can do some things with. Shake your head, speed your delivery up a little bit.
And the count is 2-2. Tony Pena calls the pitch outs, the throws over. Two. Driven deep to right field. Fair ball, it's gone. It is a foul ball.
It's a beautiful thing about a cut fastball. If you throw it in off the plate, it's a tough pitch to keep fair. Crawford did as good as he could do by hitting it deep down the right field line, but no way to keep that pitch fair. You can see by the location, in off the plate. You hit it on the good part of the bat, most times you're going to pull it foul.
Well, when you consider what the bench coach does, calling pitch outs and things like that, a manager has to have total trust in his bench coach to allow him to do that, because the game sometimes rides on pitching out at the right time.
Kind of unusual to see a bench coach do it. Obviously, Tony, an ex-catcher, Gold Glover.
Swing and miss. Crawford down on strikes. No runs, no hits, no errors. One man left. Who would normally do it?
The pitching coach, Mel Stoudemire, when I was here, recall all that.
At the 4.5, we're halfway through. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by J&R Music and Computer World, and by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Jose Molina leads off and grounds one in the hole. Backhanded by Bartlett. The long throw got him. Nice play by Bartlett to nail Molina.
Jose Molina, I feel your pain. When your back's a catcher behind the plate, you don't run well. You know that when an infielder gets a glove on it, you are in big trouble. Jump hop, a strong throw. Looked like Derek Jeter across the diamond. Jose Molina out by a step.
Speaking of Derek Jeter, that'll bring him up to the plate. A bunt single in the first inning, a ground ball to short in the second. And Derek trailing Lou Gehrig on the Yankees all-time hit list by 2. 2 to tie, 3 to stand alone. And the pitch outside. First hit was in '95 against Tim Belcher. 1,000th and 2,000. 2000th and 2006. 2,500 August of 2008. And he passed Babe Ruth for second place a year ago tonight. And the 1-0. And the flashbulbs are really popping tonight after Jeter picked up that bunt single in the first inning. That broke an 0-for-12 slide, and then he grounded to short his next time up. The 2-0. 2-1. And Jeter's seen this before, leading off World Series games, and those flashbulbs are part of the entire specter of the event. And people are trying to capture this forever. Every hit is a big hit for them as Jeter approaches this prestigious record. There's a strike.
Derek not happy with the call. Home plate umpire fielding Culberth. You make your decision. It looked like it was pretty much right on the corner, maybe a little bit low.
pitch.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The pitch. Foul off.
Tell you what, the one thing the Rays have done in this series, they've done a good job of pitching Derek Jeter down and in with a little bit of movement. A lot of those hits we see Derek get the other way of fastballs elevated up and in. He's able to fight him off the other way. Down and in, he tends to pull a little bit more. The Rays have exploited that in this series. A lot of ground balls to shortstop.
2-2. Driven deep to center field. Upton back. Still back. It's over his head and bounces into Monument Park, where Jeter will eventually bounce to.
Derek Jeter got a slider out over the plate. Drills it to center field. Sounded good off the bat, and you watch B.J. Upton turn around. You thought this might have had a chance to get out of here by the way the center fielder reacted. And again, kind of Cadillacing back, hits the warning track, and bounces over into Monument Park.
One to go. 1 to tie Lou Gehrig, 2 to stand alone. Here's Johnny Damon. That one's drilled to right field off the end of the bat, though. It's in the park, as Gross will make the play for the second out. Big swing, but just off the end of the bat, and didn't have the carry. (27-21) for Lou, 27-20 for Derek Jeter.
Rays going to put the same shift on Mark Teixeira they did the last time when Zobrist robbed Mark of a base hit in right field. A line drive over Richard's head, the first baseman. They'll employ that same shift this time around. The only difference, Longoria not able to play shortstop with Derek Jeter at second base. You can't allow him to steal third. So Longoria staying home a little bit. Looks so easy. Just hit a nice ground ball to shortstop. You have a base hit and RBI.
The 1-1. 2-1. Ground ball to short. That's the shortstop, Bartlett. And that'll do it. So Jeter inches closer to Gehrig, but the Yankees do not inch closer to the Rays. Derek Jeter with a ground rule double that bounces appropriately Let's take a close look at the swing that Derek deposited for the double, and we'll take a look at it with the IOTB HD Super Shot.
Slider out over the plate. Look at the head down. Nice finish and extension through the zone. Tremendous turn on his backside. That's why the ball jumped off his bat.
And the pitch, Longoria, strike. 2-0 Tampa Bay as we head to the 6th. Can Jeter do it tonight? Buzzed him inside.
Well, when you watch Alfredo Aceves pitch, I mean, he covers all the zones up, throws the ball down, a little bit of movement. Got a cutter, a big curveball, a changeup. That's a lot to handle for a hitter.
Soft ground ball to Jeter, a worm burner. One away. Joe Girardi was saying the other day that when Aceves won his last game, some of the starters in the dugout said, he's got 10 wins? He's going to catch us.
Well, obviously the Jabba Chamberlain situation has helped out Alfredo Aceves coming into some of these games in the 3rd, 4th inning. Picking up some wins. I mentioned it didn't even make the team out of spring training. He's become a huge piece in the middle of that bullpen. Start thinking in postseason play, could be a very valuable guy. Pitch multiple innings, could pitch at the end of the game. And I guess the biggest compliment you can give him if you're Joe Girardi, you know what you're going to get. He's going to throw the ball over the plate, not scared of contact.
And he pitches out there. He's not throwing, he's pitching. He's thinking everything through.
He'd be the kind of guy, Michael, if you're a scout and you watch him pitch in the bullpen, kind of do a side session with no hitter up there, you wouldn't even really pay him attention. I mean, velocity not that great. A little bit of movement, throws a lot of strikes. But you're right, when you watch him pitch to a major league batter, the way he dissects the strike zone, changes speeds, the ability to read the hitter's swings, I think that's something that gets lost a lot of times with pitchers. Pay attention. Is a guy late? Is he early? What's he doing up there? How's he trying to beat you?
Beautiful sequence of pitches to strike out Ben Zobrist.
See the grip on the curveball. Looked a little like a knuckle curve. Ooh, big finish, 12-6 break. Good arm action, really sells it. Be a great angle here.
There's Pat Burrell, fouled away. Aceves has just 12 walks in 69 innings out of the pen.
You're Joe Girardi, that's what you want. You know this guy's going to come in throwing strikes.
Like that.
It'd be a good feeling if you're a manager. You call down there and you don't know what you're going to get. Could be good one day, bad the next. Aceves a strike throwing machine.
That was his 42nd pitch in relief. Now, I know you didn't catch him, John, but do you see any El Duque in Aceves?
You know, you watch him mechanically, not really. Obviously, Duke had that big leg kick, but I think the same look on their face, you know, supreme confidence in what they want to do, how they want to pitch.
Off of Jeter's chest, he stays with it and gets the out for the final out of the 6th inning. Aceves gives himself a hand, so he's worked 3 innings, allowed 1 base runner, and that was a walk to Bartlett with 2 outs in the 5th. This is a hot shot off the bat of Burrell. Took a tough hop on G. Alex Rodriguez will lead out the bottom of the 6th inning. Neiman and the Rays lead 2-0, and they have a new center fielder. Fernando Perez takes over for B.J. Upton. And he gets tested right away. Took a step back. Now comes in and it's going to dunk in for a base hit. So they get burned immediately because Fernando Perez read that off the bat as a big swing and went back and missed any play.
You're right, it was a big swing. It's off the end of the bat, and he went back, tried to make up some ground. Alex Rodriguez picks up a base hit. B.J. Upton taken out of the game.
Now Upton's ankle was hurting him, and he had missed 4 games coming in to the 2nd game of the doubleheader. But you wonder, is it the ankle or the fact they didn't like the way he went off after some balls? So time will tell, and we'll find out after the game what Joe Maddon's thinking is.
While the Yankees hoping to chip away a little bit at this lead, Jeff Neiman pitch count at 79. His high total this year, 118 pitches, and we've talked this whole series about the Rays bullpen. It's been beat up and worn out. The Yankees want to make Neiman work a little bit this inning, see if they can get that pitch count up. Try to get into that bullpen.
Wind is now really whipping out in left field. Kind of swirling though, now that you really stare at the flags. Now it looks like it's coming in, and we can feel it blowing into the booth. So the flag's going every which way, but there is a strong wind right now at the stadium, and the flag's pointing straight at us. But the ones over the ballpark look like they're blowing out to right. Strike, 2-1.
Yeah, Alex Rodriguez at first base looks like he's sizing up Jeff Neiman, trying to get a little running lead over there. Jonathan Alba getting loose in the Yankee bullpen. Just like Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez peeking in, see if he could pick up a sign, but it definitely looks like he's timing the delivery of Jeff Neiman.
Popped up. The wind could wreak havoc on this one. Perez comes in and makes the play. Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your tri-state area Audi dealers. Audi, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Yankees. Now, in terms of stealing on Navarro, he was much better at throwing out base runners last year. This year, he's at about 21%. Last year, he was about 36%. So
yeah,
he was an all-star last year. He's not this year.
He's better than those numbers, and you wonder if the pitching staff has something to do with it, but it's the same coaching staff as last year that put a priority on the running game. But Navarro better than those numbers that you just mentioned.
Along with John Flaherty, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball here on the Yes Network, and we thank you for spending part of your Wednesday evening with us. It's 2-0 Tampa Bay. They scored both of those runs in the first inning, and so far it's held up. The Yankees have actually out-hit Tampa Bay 5-3. Alex thought about going, then stopped after one step.
Yeah, he's disappointed in himself. He would have had a good jump. Had a nice walking lead. Take another look. He just gets out there, decides against it.
I keep seeing Navarro look over the bench. I'm not seeing anybody give signs. It almost seems as if Madden is mouthing what he wants him to do. You don't see Hickey giving a sign, and I did see one time Madden just mouthed something.
Dave Martinez, the bench coach, looks like he's giving something on that railing there.
Nice pitching there by Neiman as he gets Swisher to swing and miss.
And Nick Swisher saw everything that at bat. A little sinking fastball, a big curveball, and then the last pitch, a good changeup. And he talked about Neiman 6'9". I mean, he really sells that changeup. Kind of jumping at Nick Swisher, had him fooled.
Time for another look at tonight's Toyota text poll. Once again, the question: which of these Yankees records would be the most difficult to break? Text your vote to 58772. You've been doing that. 58% of you believe it is the home run record. Babe Ruth holds that at 659 home runs with the Yanks. Count 1-0 to Cano.
Dave Martinez, a bench coach for the Rays, an original Devil Ray in 1998, starting right fielder. Pretty simple right there. You shake your head no, no sign, no running game.
Now, if it's that simple and he shakes his head, well, doesn't Alex Rodriguez see him shake his head?
Yeah, the problem is Alex Rodriguez is watching Navarro, and Alex Rodriguez is watching Neiman, who's out on the mound. You don't want to get picked off. see Alex looking at Nick Kelleher, the first base coach. Your focus, if you're at first base, is not on Dave Martinez, it's on the pitcher, Jeff Neiman. Last thing you want to do is get picked off.
So A-Rod leads off the inning with a bloop single to center, and he's remained there with Matsui's fly ball to center and a Swisher strikeout.
A little throw over to first base with Alex Rodriguez. I mean, you got 2 outs, a 1-2 count on Robinson Cano. Jeff Neiman, you just want him to bear down, try to get Cano out. You see his last 7 starts, pretty good numbers.
You also like him to throw a lot of pitches this inning. He's at 90 right now because you want to get into that bullpen, which has been somewhat porous of late.
In 4 games this year for Jeff Neiman where he's had a lead, the bullpen has lost it. You know, Joe Maddon's probably going to let his young right-hander go as long as he can. I mentioned before, 118 pitches, the high total this year for Neiman.
Runner goes now. Swung and miss. No need for the throw to second as Cano strikes out. So Neiman's been impressive through 6. No runs a hit, no errors, 1 man left. We go to the 7th. The Yankees still down by 2. Break time. Time for a fresh brewed cup of coffee. Yes, we get our Green Mountain K-Cup coffee system from the same people who bring us our office supplies. W.B. Mason, who but? The writers that you will read tomorrow, pounding away at the keyboard. When I became a writer, the typewriters were just going out, and we started to use these big, bulky word processors. Now it's just amazing.
You miss the writing?
I miss having written. Does that make sense? I don't miss actually like writing and working the clubhouse and trying to dig up stories like that.
Actually had a Yankee magazine delivered to my house today. Michael Kay had a nice article in that magazine.
I do write for that, yes. That was about the bullpen, I think, today.
I think so.
Pitches inside to Richard from the new Yankee pitcher, Jonathan Albaladeo.
Jonathan pitched a scoreless 8th inning in the second game, Monday's day-night doubleheader.
High fly ball center field. And you can see the wind is really taking that ball in. One away. Well, celebrate the inaugural season of Yankee Stadium this Sunday, September 13th, when the Yankees take on the Orioles. The first 18,000 fans in attendance are going to receive a Yankees knit cap, courtesy of Starter. You can use that tonight. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. Visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. It's almost a knit cap sort of night. Now you get one of those, John. You can wear them when you go to the Jet games this week.
I can. Can't wait. I'm getting fired up about football season coming.
Jets Texans this Sunday.
Big one. The big start. Rex Ryan get off to a good start. Is he going to be on your radio show
every
weekly?
Monday? Every Monday at 5.
We need him in a good mood every Monday.
Exclusively.
Don't mess it up.
Foul back. Now, you know my radio show is on from 2 to 7 every Monday through Friday on 1050 ESPN, right?
I've heard that before.
Yeah. Just wanted to make sure.
I don't really pay attention from 2 to 7, but I've heard you talk about it. I'll tell you what, I'll tune in for Rex Ryan, though.
All right. Grounded towards second. And Gross is out. 2 down. In the bottom of the inning, Derek Jeter is the third batter due up. It'll be Gardner, Molina, and Derek Jeter. So if you're thinking about turning something else on, don't. He could tie Lou Gehrig. Bottom of the 7th. That one is grounded softly toward first. And Teixeira retires Navarro for the final out. Yankee bullpen's done some job. Albaladeo works a 6-pitch, 1-2-3 7th inning. At the end of 6.5 innings of play, time for the 7th inning stretch. Derek is up third in the bottom of the inning. Yankees trail 2-0. But we stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
Servicemen and women who are
Thank you, Bob. Later on, Bob will have the W.B. Mason postgame show. Bottom of the 7th inning. It's 2-0 Tampa Bay over the Yankees. And it's Gardner, Molina, and Jeter here at the stadium in the bottom of the 7th. Gardner's 0 for 2. He's had a runner on third base both times that he's been up, but now he leads off the inning. Jeff Neiman has thrown 91 pitches, and he has been outstanding for the Rays. And there's a bunt, and it's foul.
Brett Gardner leading off the 7th inning. Really start thinking about trying to do some damage here against Jeff Neiman. Probably going to have a pinch hitter for Jose Molina hitting 9th. That man, Derek Jeter, will hit 3rd this inning.
Now, it will be the 4th time that Jeter has faced Neiman. Now, what does that mean? Well, Jeter, this year, when he faces a starting pitcher for the 4th time in a game, is 18 for 36. That's a .500 batting average. So he goes to school the first 3 at-bats and does well at bat number 4.
I'm actually surprised he's had 36 at-bats this year where he's faced somebody 3 times or 4 times. You'll see that a lot nowadays with the bullpen and specialists coming out.
And when you do, the guy's probably doing well.
Yeah, he's probably dealing.
The 1-2. And Gardner swings and misses, and Neiman has struck out 3 in a row.
Change up again from Neiman. It's a good pitch. Great job with the arm speed. Really sells it. You see how he finishes and kind of jumps a little bit.
Eric Hinsky's going to pinch hit for Jose Molina. 95 pitches for Neiman. Comes into the game 12 and 5, 3.67. And Hinsky lost one to left field. And Crawford puts it away for the 2nd out. And that'll bring up Jeter. And we have seen Jeter grow up through the years. Skinny kid, first hit, Yankee captain, 4 world championships. And today a bunt single and then a ground rule double. And it moves him to within, how many, Derek? 1 of Lou Gehrig. And the crowd here at the stadium, most of them standing. Looking to witness history. 72 years this record has been held. Lou Gehrig has been the Yankees' all-time hit leader. Ground ball, base hit. Lou Gehrig has company. Derek Jeter has tied the Iron Horse with his 2,721st hit. And he did it with a Derek Jeter type hit. A single to right. The bedrock of this franchise since 1996. The Yankee captain now stands atop Yankees Mount Olympus with Lou Gehrig. Well, Derek's dad told him to enjoy the journey, not just the destination, and this is part of the journey. What a moment for those two. The young man that they raised in Kalamazoo, Michigan, that now stands alongside the great Hall of Famer Lou Gehrig for the most hits in New York Yankee history. And there's a strike to Damon, and you get a sense that cheering would have gone on for a while. Here's that base hit that tied Gehrig.
Well, you said it perfectly, Michael. A perfect Jeter swing inside out, driving the ball the other way. We've seen that since he's come up to the major leagues.
Well, the Yankees took him with the 6th pick of the first round of the 1992 draft. And in 1995, he picked up his first hit against Tim Belcher. Here on September 9th of 2009, he picks up 2,721. And he ties Lou Gehrig with that austere number for the most hits in New York Yankees history. After 72 years, Lou Gehrig has company. Now the Yankees have a ball game to try and win. 3-1. 3-2. Jeter goes, and that one is grounded through for a base hit. Derek goes to third, a base hit for Damon, and the Yankees have runners on the corners with 2 out.
Yankees trying to rally with 2 outs against Jeff Neiman. He's been tough all night. Derek Jeter picks up a base hit. Johnny Damon works the count full. Rolls over a fastball right between the hole. Derek Jeter running on the pitch, going to get to third base easily. Brings up the dangerous Mark Teixeira with a couple of runners on.
So Jim Hickey will talk with Neiman, and you got a kid on the mound. He's thrown 103 pitches. He's probably tiring just a bit, but John, they know they don't have a better option in the bullpen.
This is his ball game. I mean, this is one of those games where you learn as a young pitcher how to finish off a ball game. Mentioned his high pitch count, 118 on the year, but if you're Jim Hickey, Joe Madden, the manager, this is the kid you want out on the mound right now with that bullpen has been fatigued and beat up.
Here's Mark Teixeira with the tying runs on base. Yankees trailing 2-0. Trying to untie it or give the Yankees the lead.
Again, a good changeup. That's been a quality pitch all night. He's also gone with that 12-6 curveball to Mark Teixeira, and you wonder if that's in the back of his mind. He's seen it a couple of at-bats tonight. Probably a good chance he's going to see it at some point during this at-bat. Back-to-back changeups. Both in quality spots. Down, middle, good action, good movement. And Neiman has a lot of options now. Could go high with a fastball, could go another changeup, could bounce a curveball. In the driver's seat.
The 0-2. He does try to bounce it. Teixeira does not bite. Cormier and Schaus, the Yankees have seen them already this series. And the 1-2 upstairs, 2-2.
Got to believe that was just a show me pitch by Neiman. Navarro setting up. Fastball up and away, probably trying to set up a curveball or a changeup down to Mark.
The 2-2. So now the count is full. Alex Rodriguez is on deck. Johnny Damon will be allowed to go from first with 3-2 and 2 outs. Derek Jeter stays anchored at third. Yankees are down 2-0. And he swings and misses on the changeup, and Teixeira ends the inning. But there's still a buzz in the ballpark about Derek Jeter. 2 hits coming into this at bat, and a Jeterian swing takes it the other way. He ties Lou Gehrig. After 72 years, Gehrig has come. Well, we go to the 8th inning. 2-0 game. Crowd still buzzing after Jeter's historic hit. But Tampa Bay leads this one 2-0. Gehrig with 3 hits tonight to tie Lou Gehrig for the most hits in New York Yankees baseball history. Fernando Perez showed bunt, pulled it back, and the count 1-0. And a strike from Alba Ladeo. You know, John, you see it, you've watched it, we've seen it, we've seen him grow up, and it doesn't surprise you that he got 3 hits today. You know, he was 0 for 12, and you noticed, and you noted at the beginning of the game, as Perez drives one to center and Gardner's there, that he didn't look overmatched at the plate. He wasn't out of stride or anything like that. He was hitting the ball. Now, obviously, struck out 3 times against Price, but Price was dealing. The other times you saw good things from him. Yeah, I did. You know, he had a positive at bat last night. His last at bat, a line drive to right field. But you're right, Price was so good. I mean, Nick Swisher was really the only one who figured him out, and he got ahead in the count. But nothing that guy does surprises you. I mean, you play with him and you watch him every day. It's just a testament to a solid approach, great hitting style, and a guy goes out there, plays every day, and plays hurt. I spoke today, John, with Dick Roach, who was the Yankee scout that started following Derek Jeter at the age of 17. And he said that none of this surprises him. He said, as a 17-year-old, I saw the joy that he took in playing and how he handled failure, and I knew whatever he did, he would end up being the greatest at doing it, whatever he did in life. And that was when Dick Roach first saw him at Kalamazoo Central. And the Yankees drafted him with the 6th pick, and a lot of people don't even realize this story. The Astros had the 1st pick that year, and a great former Tiger pitcher by the name of Hal Newhouser scouted Derek Jeter, and he told the Astros, you have to pick this guy. This is the guy. A lot of teams are hesitant to take high school kids. The Astros picked Bill Nevin, and Hal Newhouser quit the next day and never scouted again. Now the Yankees, they were torn between Jeffrey Hammonds, who was a college player, and Derek Jeter. And Groach kept telling them, you got to take Jeter. But it was like a flip of the coin. But the Yankees lucked out because the Orioles took Hammonds with the 4th pick. The Reds took Chad Mottola with the 5th pick, and there Derek Jeter was. And the Yankees selected him. And the rest, as they say, is history, as Bartlett grounds out.
Well, you know what I like hearing about these stories is that the scout obviously did his homework watching Derek. Not so much the tools. You know, he's got a good arm. He's going to hit for power. But he got to know the person. And obviously that's what has made him so successful in his major league career. Great parents. Not afraid of the big stage. Has handled himself the right way on and off the field.
And what Groach said, he said, you know, there's always a danger when you draft a high school player. You don't know if he's going to go to college. And Derek was accepted to Michigan. He said, but I told the Yankees, there's no doubt, because he's a Yankee fan. That's all he wanted to be his whole life, was the Yankee shortstop. If we draft him, he will sign. And he did sign.
You talk to scouts all the time. It's got to be tough to watch a high school kid against high school competition and feel that strongly that he's going to be able to do this at the major league level.
Well, at the time, the Yankee brass asked Dick Groach, who's now the assistant to Doug Melvin in Milwaukee, and they kept asking Groach, is the kid going to Michigan? And Groach responded, no, the only place this kid's going to is Cooperstown. The 1-1. I also asked him, people don't realize this, Derek at this age is 80 hits ahead of Pete Rose, who went on to break Ty Cobb's all-time hit record. And I asked Groach, could he do it? He said he still has life in his body. He still has a great body like that. He keeps himself in shape. He said if he wants to play that long, he will definitely beat Pete Rose. And the guy hasn't been wrong yet about Jeter. The 1-2. 2-2. You know, scouts are connected to players. I mean, one of the most famous scouts connected to a player is Tom Greenway, who ended up signing Mickey Mantle, and also Bobby Mercer. And I said to Dick Groach, does it make you happy that that's your connection? He goes, it makes me happy that I'm connected to Derek Jeter in any way. And if that's part of my biography, then I'm thrilled about it, proud about it. And the count is 3-2. And Dick Groach remembers this hit. He actually spoke about it. A base hit off Tim Belcher. And standing next to Tino Martinez there at first base. Lined out to Jeter. And Albaladeo works a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Derek Jeter's tied with Gehrig. The Yankees are not tied with Tampa Bay. Well, tonight throughout the Yankee season on Yes, we're allowing you to vote along with the two of us here on the booth for the Chevy prior to the game. Text your vote to 58772. Tonight's candidates are number 1, Derek Jeter, and those are the rest. Vote now and make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Alex Rodriguez rifles one into left center field for a base hit off of Neiman, and they are really riding Neiman here into the 8th inning. Second hit for Alex.
A nice job by Alex Rodriguez getting on top of this fastball. It's going to be elevated a little bit. Look at him get on top with his hands. Nice, short, simple swing. A rocket to left center. Yankees all of a sudden getting some better swings on Neiman. 7th inning, now into the 8th inning. Tough call for a manager there. You got a young kid who's had an outstanding ball game. You don't feel good about your bullpen. It's been beat up. Tough decision for Joe Maddon.
But John, how long can you go with the guy? He's not going to pitch a complete game.
Well, he's at 110. You say, you know what, let's see if he can get through the 8th inning. But it looks like Joe Maddon has made up his mind. Seen enough.
So Maddon will now hold his breath and signal for the right-hander. 110 pitches for Neiman. Now, why would he call on the righty? Did he just touch his right arm?
Yeah, he touched his right arm. You have Matsui, you have Swisher, a switch hitter, Robinson, Cano, and Gardner, and Hinson, or Cervelli.
And it is the right-hander, and even Matsui's gone. Really? We'll see how that works out for Maddon and the Rays. 2-0 Tampa Bay.
Again.
Well, it's time to take a look at the Land Rover drive of the game.
Well, it happened a long time ago, leading off the ball game for the Rays. Shortstop Jason Bartlett, 14th home run of the year off of Jabba Chamberlain. It's out of the reach of Johnny Damon, your Land Rover drive of the game.
Well, Joe Maddon always tries to take the wacky way. He had a left-hander shouse up. He's got the lefty Matsui coming up, and he brings on the righty Lance Cormier, who the Yankees have seen in this series. So let's see how this plays out. Did Maddon push the right button?
And Matsui has faced Cormier 4 times. He has 2 hits, one of those a home run.
Those are the numbers on Cormier.
Cormier's been a busy man here in New York. He's pitched every day. First game of the doubleheader on Monday, pitched last night and again tonight. Can't say enough about the young right-hander Jeff Neiman. An outstanding ball game.
Fair ball down the right field line. A-Rod will round second and go to third. Played quickly by Gross, holding Matsui to a single, and the Yankees are set up. First and third, nobody out. Now Madden's going to argue with Tim Welke and say that that was a foul ball. And how about this stat? We said that Schaus was warming up. Matsui was 2 for 14 against him.
Well, he faced the right-hander Cormier, and he gets a little cutter inside, and he smokes it right past Richard. Looks like he goes right over the bag. First base umpire Tim Welke makes the call. Alex Rodriguez cruising into third base easily. Just out of the reach of Richard, right over the bag. Tim Welke jumping out of the way, making the call. Alex Rodriguez into third base easily.
Well, here's Nick Swisher, last night's hero. 2 home runs, 1 from each side. For the 10th time in his career he did that. Jerry Hairston Jr. is going to pinch run for Matsui. Matsui, 2 more hits today. 9 for his last 21. Swisher's 1 for 3. A-Rod's at third. Hairston's at first. Nobody out. Bottom of the 8th. 2-0 Rays. Grounded to first. Bobbled by Richard. He throws it into left field. Alex Rodriguez scores. Hairston moves to third. And the Yankees are now down 2-1.
This was trouble right from the beginning. First baseman Chris Richards, when he had this ball, I mean, the easy play is the second base. Let the run score, turn the double play. He looked to Alex Rodriguez, then he makes a bad throw. Jerry Hairston Jr., the pinch runner, is going to be able to go to third base easily. The play, if you're the first baseman, is to turn the double play. You give up the run for 2 outs. Bad throw, nobody out. And again, Joe Madden making his way out to the mound.
Well, fielder's choice, E3 and an RBI for Swisher because you can't assume the double play. His 78th ribby. So with the lefty Canoa, maybe now Madden will bring on the left-hander. Richard upset with himself. 5 years in the minors, just got called up. Cormier's out. Rays lead is now 2-1, and they're going to call on the left-hander to face Cano. Come on back. On Yes is brought to you in part by Honda and by Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way. Remember, after the final out of this game with the Rays, stick around for the Emmy-winning WB Mason postgame. Bob Lorenz gives you all the highlights and a look around the rest of baseball. Plus, Kimberly Jones will have the final say from the clubhouse. It's the WB Mason postgame only on Yes. Brian Schaus comes on to face Robinson Cano. Tying run is 90 feet away. 0-1. Those are Schaus's numbers. Runner at third, runner at first, nobody out. Now he doesn't want to do it, but if Cano hits into a double play, that gets the job done to tie the game.
See Navarro setting up away. It was a slider. That was a cement mixer. Didn't do anything. Ended up and in to Robinson Cano. Schaus, a tough lefty on left-handed batters. Got that sweeping slider and a running fastball inside. Robinson Cano, you really have to be disciplined to stay in the middle of the field. One for 4 in his career off of Schaus. Jeff Neiman just a spectator.
Well, the bullpen has blown 4 of his leads this year. Alex Rodriguez has scored the first run. You see Jorge Posada with a bat. He'll pinch hit for Cervelli. And the count 2-2. Now I wonder, John, if you'd ask Yankee fans, do you want them to go ahead here and then not have a bout in the 9th inning when Derek Jeter would bat, or do you want them to tie? I think most of the fans would say, let's tie, although there's still a chance he comes up this inning. He is a couple of batters away. Jeter with 3 hits tonight that tie Lou Gehrig. Joe Girardi's trying to win his 91st game of the year. 2-2. Struck him out. Big strikeout for Schaus.
Schaus did a nice job getting Robinson Cano to think about that ball inside. A lot of sinkers in, and then all of a sudden he throws a slider on the outside corner. You see the front hip leave a little early for Robinson. Not able to make contact.
Well, they're going to pinch hit Posada now for Gardner. Cervelli will be on deck, but they could pinch hit for Cervelli as well, according to what Posada does. I was talking to a person with the Tampa Bay traveling party, John. I don't want to give away who it was, and he said, our bullpen is a terrible match for this Yankee team. He said there are too many switch hitters, and whoever we bring in is a matchup sort of pitcher. He goes, this is the worst matchup we have in the American League.
Yeah, we talked the last couple of days. You got Schaus, who's a left-handed specialist. Bradford, who does the same thing from the right side, dropping down. Joe Madden wearing out a path from that dugout to the mound.
Well, the managerial wheels are turning. They're going to go to Grant Balfour to face Jorge Posada. The story of Lou Gehrig is well known. He was indeed the pride of the Yankees. A kid from New York City who went to Columbia University and then paired up with Babe Ruth to form the heart of Murderers Row. 2,130 games in a row, and for 72 years, he has proudly been the all-time hits leader of the New York Yankees. And tonight, Derek Jeter joined him. There's company at the top. Henry Louis Gehrig and Derek Sanderson Jeter, both #1 on the Yankees all-time hits list. One Yankee captain sharing the podium with another Yankee captain. Brent Balfour comes on to face Jorge Posada. Posada is best on the Yankees in getting a runner in from third with less than 2 outs. Those are Balfour's numbers. Posada 16 of 22, 73% in getting this job done. So he will pinch hit for Gardner.
Job right now, hit a fly ball to center field if you can. Balfour's going to come right at you. He's proud of his fastball. But Posada has some good numbers, 3 for 3 against Balfour in his career.
And he challenged him with the fastball, and Posada fouled it back.
What you love about Balfour coming out of the bullpen, he loves his fastball, he loves the competition, coming right at Jorge Posada. Good swing, just fouls it straight back.
Outside. Fouled away.
Balfour's throwing hard. He's also quick pitching Jorge Posada a little bit. Didn't look like he was ready for that fastball. A little late. He makes an adjustment here. Gets himself ready a little bit earlier. Try to slow Balfour down.
Well, the Yankees have moved Melky Cabrera to the on-deck circle. He is going to pinch hit for Francisco Cervelli. And Melky, one of the Yankees' best hitters, 7th inning on. Count 2-2. Jeff Neiman, more than an interested observer, he does not want to see his night's work go down because of a faltering bullpen. You've got Hairston at third and Swishers at first. One man out. 2-1, the Rays lead the Yankees. And the count is full.
Nice block by Navarro, making sure he keeps that ball in front. Nice job by Jorge Posada laying off. He'd seen all fastballs until that curveball.
Swisher doesn't have great speed, John. Jorge sometimes hits into double plays. Do you send him on 3-2?
I would send him trusting that Jorge Posada is going to get a strike, and he's disciplined enough if he gets a ball. He usually doesn't go out of the strike zone too often. Good numbers against Balfour, 3 for 3.
That one is driven to right field. There it goes! See ya! A pinch hit, 3-run home run for Jorge Posada. And the Yankees lead 4-2.
Nothing new for the Yankees. Late inning heroics. Jorge Posada got another fastball. This one on the inner half. All the other fastballs were away.
had some good history against Balfour. Derek Jeter, the captain, knows it's gone. Big pinch hit, 3-run home run by Jorge Posada.
And that means that Derek Jeter's going to have a bat here in the 8th inning. Lucky will pinch hit for Cervelli. This place is going to be up for grabs when Derek Jeter steps to the plate now that the Yankees have the lead.
Does a nice job working the count full. He laid off the curveball and he got another fastball and hammered it.
Lofted to shallow left center. And the catch is made by Crawford. And that's going to bring up Derek Jeter. Listen to this crowd.
Number 3, Derek Jeter. Number 2.
Derek Jeter with a chance to make history. He has 3 hits tonight. He has tied Lou Gehrig with 2,721 hits. No man has ever had more hits in a Yankee uniform. Can Derek Jeter stand alone? Balfour deals. Outside, 1-0. Drafted in the first round with the 6th pick in 1992. Out of high school. And he fouls it back. His first hit in 1995 in Seattle against Tim Belcher. His first home run on opening day, 1996, against Dennis Martinez. 4 World Series championships, an MVP in the World Series and the All-Star game, on an express train to Cooperstown. And the 1-1. And the count 2-1. The captain of the Yankees since 2003. Mariano Rivera's been there from the start, coming up through the system with Derek Jeter. So has Andy Pettitte. So has Jorge Posada. Now Jeter stands in the box alone, a base hit away from history. And the count is 2-2. Dr. Charles Jeter, Derek's dad, his sister Shirley, Mom Dorothy in Jeter's box. The Yankees on the top step of the dugout. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And the pitch. And the count is full at 3-2. Everyone in this ballpark is standing. Jorge Posada has given the Yankees the lead. Derek Jeter wants to give the crowd a memory. And the 3-2. Slice foul.
Nothing new with Balfour. You expect him to come right at Derek Jeter. Loves his fastball.
And Jeter walks. And it is the most underappreciated walk in baseball history.
Yeah, you expected Balfour to come right at Derek. He does with a first pitch fastball. Another one, a good swing, foul ball. Little slider down and away. Good fastball, good swing, foul ball. Slider again. Fastball fouled off. And then a low fastball for ball 4.
Mariano wanted him to get a hit. We'll have to wait until next inning if the Yankees blow the lead, or Friday night here at the stadium. A lot of excitement for the Jeter family and for the Yankee family as well. Derek Jeter might have a full day to think about it. My thought is he probably won't stress. So Joe Madden will go to the bullpen again. Open up another can of pitchers for the Rays manager. Yankees lead 4-2. Come on back. If you're wondering what it's like to be the dad of the guy who tied Lou Gehrig to be the Yankees' all-time hits leader, well, let's find out. Here's Dr. Charles Jeter.
This, is exciting. Really, I can't stand here and say it's not exciting, because you're looking at, Gehrig and all the, the other players in Yankee history that he's passing, and, these are, monumental men in Yankee history. And so, for my son to be anyway in the conversation and with the hits, I'm not excited about it, really.
I can only imagine, and John, you have 3 kids. Can you imagine what Dr. Charles and Dorothy Jeter are thinking?
Well, they got to be incredibly proud. I mean, obviously what Derek has done on the field and accomplished, but I think more importantly, the man that he has become as a parent. That's really what you want from your children, to grow up and be good role models, and never a question about that with Derek Jeter.
That one's ruled a pass ball. Count 1-0 on Johnny Damon. Yankees lead 4-2. Ground ball, and that'll do it for the inning. Well, time now for a look at 9, the new epic animated adventure in theaters everywhere now. Speaking of epic adventures, Derek Jeter's career has been just that. All those hits, one after the other, all those great names. He is headed to Cooperstown, and all the guys he's passed, he's going to meet them back there. Two, and a little bit of a different move. Derek Jeter, with his 3 hits, has tied Lou Gehrig for the most hits in New York Yankees history, 2,721. But Brian Bruni comes on to get the final 3 outs in a save situation. It would be his first save, and not Mariano Rivera. What do you make of that?
And not Phil Hughes. Phil Hughes and Mariano pitched in last night's ball game. Obviously, when you don't see Mariano go out there, you think that he had a tweaked groin last week. We don't think that that's a problem. Just think it's Joe Girardi saying, I don't want to work my closer back-to-back games. A lot of flexibility here coming down the stretch with a big lead against the Red Sox for the Yankees. Joe Girardi decides to give Brian Bruni an opportunity to close out a ball game.
Well, he's going to face the heart of the order, Longoria, Zobrist, and Burrell, trying to hold a 4-2 lead. And the pitch outside at 1-0. And the count 2-0. Phil Koch as Joe Girardi might try to just mix and match throughout the 9th inning to nail this one down. Check swing, did he go? No, he did not, said Tim Welke.
That's not what Joe Girardi's looking for from Brian Bruni. 3 consecutive balls. Talk all the time about you want to know what you're getting out of your relievers. Throw the ball over the plate. 2-run lead. Even if Longoria hits a home run, you still have the lead. Challenge him. Go right at him.
The 3-0. And he walks him. Now, I know that Bruni's not trying to throw pitches out of the zone, but the worst that could have happened would have been 4-3 if you threw one right over the plate. But he throws 4 out of the zone. And now the tying run comes to the plate. Time to take a look at the play of the game, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Geico play of the game, the base hit by Derek Jeter to tie Lou Gehrig. Jeter family ecstatic. Congratulations all around at the new Yankee Stadium for Derek Jeter, your Geico play of the game.
Zobrist hits one deep to center. Melky Cabrera back, and he makes the play.
Zobrist hits this ball well. The wind blowing straight in helped Brian Bruni out. Ball had the sound that it was centered on the bat. See, Zobrist feels good about it, but the wind just knocked it down right on the warning track.
And the wind is blowing straight in. Fortuitous lead for the Yankees and Brian Bruni. Here's Pat Burrell. And the count 1-0.
Brian Bruni looks a little jumpy here in the 9th inning. He's done a decent job lately slowing down his delivery. Looks like he's a little pumped up tonight.
High fly ball. Right field. Nick Swisher. And the Yankees are 1 out away from another come-from-behind victory. It would be their 45th of the year. And now Joe Girardi is going to call on the left-hander Phil Koch to face the left-hander Chris Richard, who has some power. So Koch will try to close it down. Yankees 1 out away from their 91st win of the year and a sweep of the Rays. Stay right where you are. Well, 1 out to go for the Yankees. Phil Koch comes on. And he is not going to face Chris Richard. He's going to face the pinch hitter Gabe Kapler. And the Rays desperately clinging to fading postseason hope, trying not to get swept in this 4-game set. Runner goes from first. That one's fouled straight back here and just under our booth.
You see, your alligator arms are like this.
What do you want me to do? Dive over? I got a
Make
job
a
to do
play.
here.
Let's go.
The 0-1. High fly ball. Right field line. Swisher on the run. And he runs out of room. Want to remind everybody after the final out, stick around for the Emmy-winning WB Mason postgame show. Bob Lorenz will give you all the highlights and a look around the rest of baseball. Plus, Kimberly Jones has the final say from the clubhouse. It's the WB Mason postgame. It is only on Yes. 3 hits tonight for Derek Jeter, so his 0 for 12 is forgotten. It's in the rearview mirror. And now every other player that ever played for the Yankees other than Lou Gehrig also in his rearview mirror. Count 0-2 on Kapler. Runner goes. Pitch is inside, so Longoria will take second. That's defensive indifference. Outfield is deep. Trying to guard against an extra base hit. That would put the tying run in scoring position. They'll give up anything in front of them. If it's over their head, it's a tie game. It will be over the wall. And now Posada goes out and talks with Cope. That gets past Posada as Longoria will advance to third.
Look, he got a piece of Jorge Posada. It's a slider yanked right in the dirt. Like it might have got his left leg. Tough ball to block. He really got to cover a lot of ground. Got his left quad.
Big pinch hit 3-run home run by Posada in the 8th inning. That is the difference in this game as the Yankees lead 4-2. They trail 2-0 going into the bottom of the 8th. And the 2-2. He swings and misses, and the Yankees win. On a night when Derek Jeter ties Lou Gehrig for the most hits in New York Yankees history with hit number 27-21, the Yankees win this game 4-2. So Derek Jeter gets 3 hits, and his best friend on the team, Jorge Posada, gets the pinch hit 3-run home run. And the Yankee captain, who cares about winning, pumps his fist as he does after every win. He's done it 91 times this year. The Yankees are now 41 games over 500. They've swept the Rays. And they are just playing the best baseball in the majors right now. And they've won 23 of their last 27 home games. So Derek Jeter with a big night. As we mentioned, 0 for 12 coming into this one in this series. But the bunt single in the first kind of opened things up. Then the double, and then the single that tied Lou Gehrig, and the 3-run home run by Posada gave the Yankees a 4-2 victory, which seems like a sidebar. Derek Jeter's the lead, and Kim Jones is with him. Kim?
Thank you, Michael. Derek, I know your parents have taught you about appreciating the journey, enjoying the moment. As you stood on first base having tied Lou Gehrig, did you listen?
I did. You know, what an ovation I got from the fans. The fans have been great this whole homestand. You know, I've been trying to do it for them, but I couldn't come up with too many hits there. But yeah, it's been amazing.
You had to have felt them hanging on every swing of every at bat.
Yeah, that's why I bunted in the first inning, so I needed to get at least one hit, right?
Your teammates, of course, came up to the top of the dugout. They were clapping. The Rays joined in. Did you have goosebumps?
I did. You know, I really didn't know what to do because we're losing at the time, and I didn't want to disrespect Tampa. And when I saw them give me an ovation, I really appreciated it.
What does it mean to you to tie a man who was a Yankees captain, the pride of the Yankees, so respected for what he did not only on the field but off of it in Lou Gehrig?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the classiest people that ever played this game, and I have the utmost respect for him. And, you know, it's just kind of mind-boggling to have my name next to his.
For a kid who grew up wanting to be the Yankees shortstop, this is pretty cool, isn't it?
No question. I never dreamt about all this.
Really? The names that you are joining, the names that you are past, do you think of it ever, especially on a night like this that I'm guessing you'll remember forever?
Yeah, this is definitely a memorable moment. I mean, we've had so many great moments in the old stadium, and you know, this is the one I remember so far in this stadium here.
What do you think that next hit's going to be like?
I don't know. Just as long as it's a hit.
Thank you very much, Derek. Congratulations.
Thank you, Kim, and thank you, Derek Jeter. Thank you for all the years since '96 and all the base hits, 2,721. Yankee fans thank him. They stand up as one, and Derek Jeter gets another win to go along with his 3 hits and to stand atop the Yankees Mount Olympus with Lou Gehrig.